Hello, Sheriff. Mind if I ask you a few more questions?
If you must.
Do you know anything about the art theft in the Wade estate?
Yes, Mr. Wade phoned ahead about that. Lenny!
Yes, boss?
Get the report from the burglary in the Wade estate back in '86.
On it, boss. There you go, Kathy.
Thanks, buddy. I gotta find this Goldfarb guy. Maybe he knows more about the burglary. Hey, Lenny.
Hello, Kathy. What's up?
Does the name Franklin Goldfarb mean anything to you?
Sounds familiar, but I can't place him.
Well, gotta go.
See ya.
Hello, Sheriff. Does the name Franklin Goldfarb mean anything to you?
Never heard of him. Anything else?
That's all for now.
Good.
Oh, hello, dear.
Hi, Grandma. I just thought I'd drop by.
Sure, hon. Stay as long as you'd like.
Mind if we talk for a bit, Grandma?
Not at all, dear. What's on your mind?
Does the name Franklin Goldfarb mean anything to you?
Oh, that poor man. He used to be an upstanding citizen, you know. Now he's constantly drinking and keeps babbling on about that imaginary acting career of his.
Sad thing. Do you know where I can find him?
He's homeless, dear. Lost his job a few years ago and never really got back on his feet.
Okay, now I know who you're talking about. Thanks, Grandma. Looks like I'm gonna have to have a chat with Goober. Do you know who Jimmy Cochran is? He was a friend of Grandpa's.
I believe he teaches at the flight school these days.
I don't think so, at least not anymore. I was told he was placed in a mental facility.
Really? He always struck me as a kind man, maybe a bit nervous and on edge, but not crazy.
There's more. I found out that Jimmy asked Grandpa for help not long before Grandpa ended up in that wheelchair. Jimmy sounded really desperate. I'm sure what happened to Grandpa that night had something to do with his cry for help.
You should go find the man then. Surely he must know something.
That's the plan. I just wondered if there's anything else you think I should know about him.
Not really. We haven't stayed in touch since Joseph was injured. I know that he had a wife, Agatha, and a son, James. Agatha passed away from cancer years ago, but as far as I know, James still lives in the city with his family.
Okay, thanks, Grandma. I don't see a reason to ask her about that. Well, gotta go, Grams. Talk to you later.
Bye, Kathy.
I need a word, Miss Mendez.
Wait, how do you know my name?
It's written on that board behind you, genius.
You have the eyesight of a bald eagle or something?
What can I say? I'm a freak of nature. What happened to Goober, anyway?
Who?
The guy who had the seizure?
Oh, he ran off somewhere. Kept babbling about a religious near-death experience.
Okay, thanks. Hello, Father.
Greetings, my child. I'm glad you decided to come here.
Yeah, but just so you know, I'm not here to join your church or anything.
Oh, I would never assume that.
Good. So, with that out of the way, I have some questions.
Anything you need. I'm Isaac Price.
Kathy Rain, but I'm guessing you figured that out already.
I did. Rumors spread quickly around here. So how can I be of service?
Care to tell me the history of the church?
I'd be happy to. The story is a fascinating one. This church was founded by my father, William T. Price, in the 70s. Back then, he made his living as a traveling salesman and was driving through this area as he'd done so many times before. However, this day was different. My father held dark thoughts in his mind. He was angry, thinking of evil deeds, even considering swerving off the road into a rock and ending it all. Then suddenly, divine intervention. 3 bright lights appeared. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, the sign of God. This epiphany was the moment my father had been waiting for. He sold all of his belongings and took me and my brother to live with him here in Conwell Springs. Soon thereafter, he built this church and started gathering followers. They began to refer to him as Father Bill.
I take it that window up there resembles what he saw when he had this epiphany?
Indeed. The stained glass window depicts the Holy Trinity as witnessed by my father.
Do you know exactly when or where this event took place?
Why do you ask?
Oh, just curious. It's a captivating story.
Well, it was in the spring of 1971, but my father never told anyone where.
Okay, so what happened then?
People flocked to Father Bill. He started teaching, writing scripture. The church flourished and continued to grow all the way up until his sudden death in 1983. That's when I stepped in to take leadership of the church.
I take it that the church started declining after the death of Father Bill?
Yes, naturally so. With such a magnetic personality, he was irreplaceable. But I assure you the church is still very much thriving.
Looks kinda empty to me.
It's not really our peak hours.
What's up with you handing out pamphlets at funerals then? Trying to reel people in at a weak moment?
I'm going to assume you meant no disrespect, child. I'm simply providing divine guidance when it's needed the most.
I could, but I think I have more to gain from a subtle strategy. I'll keep it to myself for now, until I know more about this church. Do you know who Franklin Goldfarb is?
I am afraid not, my child.
I think I need to ask him about a few more things. Do you know anything about what happened to my grandfather in '81?
It was the work of the devil, I'll say that much. Joseph was a kind man. He did not deserve such a fate. You heard my speech at the funeral, Kathy. I meant every word. He was a great man who did much good for this community.
Did you know him personally?
In a way. He and my father did charity work together. Joseph was around a lot when I was young. They collaborated on a few different projects for the homeless and for the troubled youth, among other things.
So my grandfather was a member of the church?
I wouldn't say that, no. He was a friend of the church, but he wasn't a religious man. He believed only in philanthropy. That being said, Joseph was the person who convinced me to become a priest.
Really?
Oh yes, I was a teenager back then, full of rebellion, every fiber of my being wanting to distance myself from my father. Joseph made me realize my sinful pride and showed me how I should follow my heart regardless of what others might think. And for that, I'm eternally grateful.
Does the name Lily Myers mean anything to you?
It does. I was a substitute teacher in her high school for some time before I was ordained.
Really? Did you know her personally?
We weren't close. I only knew her as much as a teacher would know any student.
All right, so how did she seem toward the end?
For one, she started skipping school a lot, and when she did show up, she was absent-minded and moody. She always looked depressed and hunched down like she had a whole world on her shoulders.
Any idea of what caused this change?
Not a clue. All I know is that when she returned from that last summer break, she was a whole different person.
Do you know who Jimmy Cochran is?
I don't recognize...
Do you know anything about an art theft?
I have just a vague memory of reading about it in the paper.
That's all I need for now.
May the Lord shine his light on you.
Hello again, Goober.
You again? Are you stalking me, girl? You pop up everywhere I go. I'll try to tone down the charm, but I can't promise anything.
Huh, yeah, you're quite the charmer.
I know. I just said that, man.
Listen, I feel kind of bad about the electrocution.
Oh, that's what it was. What a cherry on top of my stellar performance.
Yeah, it was pretty convincing.
So what brings you to the house of God? Come to repent?
I'm afraid that ship has long since sailed, buddy. I had a few things I wanted to ask you about, though.
Shoot, Missy!
Your real name is Franklin Goldfarb, right?
Oh, nobody calls me that.
Regardless, I know for a fact that you were a witness to a burglary a few years back at the Wade Estate.
Yeah, what about it?
Why don't you tell me what you saw exactly?
I heard the alarm go off, glass breaking, then I saw 3 guys running away, carrying a bunch of stuff.
What did they look like?
It was dark, I don't know, they were definitely 3 big, bulky guys. They
what?
Oh, nothing, that's it. Didn't see anything else.
Bullshit, spit it out.
Well, one of those guys dropped his ring when running away. I sort of pawned it.
A ring? What kind of ring?
Platinum with an inscription. 2 letters, B something. Man, I don't remember. My photographic memory stopped working in 1979.
Which pawn shop was that?
Pete's Pawning and Plumbing. It closed down a long time ago, though. Owner left town. There's a coffee shop back there now.
Too bad. Guess that's a dead end. Thanks anyway. Didn't I see 2 letters fitting that description recently? Not on a building. It was something small. Did the inscription on the ring look anything like this?
Wow, actually exactly like that.
Any idea what BH stands for?
Beehive? Bet high? Big head?
Do you know what this is?
Chinese fireworks, of course. They used to call... I missed...
Timed? Okay, that's all for now.
See ya!
Oh.
Mind if we...
Not at all.
Do you recognize the acronym BH? It's on Dad's lighter.
Yes, dear, it means the Black Hats. They're those ruffians on motorcycles whom your father is associated with.
Oh, his biker gang. That makes sense. What can you tell me about the Black Hats?
I refuse to talk about those hoodlums. They turned your father into a horrible person. You should stay far away from them, Kathy. They're awful people, just awful.
Bye, Grandma.
So long.
Hey, Lenny.
Hello, Kathy. What's up?
What can you tell me about the Black Hats?
They've caused us trouble from time to time, but they've been kind of quiet lately. We put a few of their captains in the slammer over the years, but we never managed to find enough dirt on their leader. Bo Brunson. Big Bo.
Do you know where I can find them?
Yeah, hold on. Let me just find a map.
Got it, thanks. Well, gotta go.
See ya.
Sweet butt incoming!
Like hell I am. I'm nobody's property.
You sure? Doesn't she look like a sweet butt? Little slut? I think she does.
Step off, creep.
Or what? You tell your daddy on me?
Or you'll be scraping your balls off the floor, you fucking pig.
Oh, I love it when they play hard to get.
Let go of me! God.
Oh!
What the hell's going on out here?
Nothing, Prez. Just having a bit of fun with this gash here.
I suggest you leash that dog of yours.
For fuck's sake, Prospect, not again. Get the hell out of here.
Sorry, boss, I'll go. Fuck, that hurt, you cunt.
He'll be disciplined for that.
He better be. I take it you're Bo?
I am. And who are you, darling?
Kathy Rain.
Bullshit. She lives in the city with her deranged mother. Who are you, really? Did the Vandals send you?
No, they didn't. I am Kathy Rain.
Prove it, then.
Well, I would, but I left my ID back home.
That's convenient. I think I've wasted enough time with you.
I need to figure out some proof. This proof enough for you?
I'll be damned. That's Brian's lighter, all right. Sorry about the paranoia. We've had some problems with the Vandals lately.
I get it. Can't be too careful.
So, that's your ride out there. Corley Motors, right? 78?
76.
You got the same taste as your old man. He always rode Corleys.
Probably the only thing he and I have in common.
Did you set up those mods yourself? Looks custom made for your, small frame.
Yeah, took some time to get the measurements right.
I imagine so. Girls like you don't often ride heavy bikes.
I'm not most girls.
Ain't that the truth? Most girls don't just waltz into places like this either.
I guess you'd know. Anyway, I had some questions for you in the club.
Go ahead, then. Your old man was a good brother, so I'll indulge you for now.
What can you tell me about the Black Hats?
Black Hats MC was founded in the 60s by my old man, my uncle, and 2 other local bikers. Conwell Springs is the mother chapter, and we have support clubs in 6 other locations across 3 states. There's a total of 16 members here, 12 patch, 4 prospects. I'm the acting president of this chapter as well as of the whole club. Have been for more than 15 years.
The law give you any trouble?
It used to be tough when your granddad was around. He and Truman ran a tight ship.
And now?
Now they try, but Boyks and the boy are a nuisance at best.
Tell me, how long have you been the president of this club?
15 years now, give or take. VP for 10 before that.
Good. Then you can tell me why you stole Lily Meyer's paintings from Charles Wade in '86.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but I'd recommend you be careful with wild accusations like that.
Oh, cut the bullcrap. I know it was you. I did some digging and found evidence pointing to the club.
Is that so? Better be a good girl and present it to the sheriff, then.
I couldn't care less about ratting you out, Bo. I just need to know what you did with the art.
I have no intention of discussing your delusions as if they were facts, girl. Don't make me tell you again.
Do you know anything about what happened to Joseph Rain in 1981?
No, we had our differences, me and him, but that's a horrible fate for a man. I'd rather be dead than a vegetable.
So I take it you and him didn't get along.
No, I could write a book about that man. On one page I'd praise him, on the next I'd want to smash his skull in. He could be a real self-righteous prick when he wanted to, that's for sure. But everyone knew he was the real law around here. Truman was a tool. I respected Joseph, and he respected me, but he hated how Brian looked up to me. Joseph always blamed the club for the path Brian chose in life, even though it was just due to him being a shitty father.
You seriously thought Grandpa was a bad parent?
Everybody knew about it. People just tend to forget the bad qualities of men in wheelchairs. Joseph wasn't a saint. He saw everything black and white. He was only kind to whomever he considered to be good by his narrow moral standards. The ones who wouldn't fit in that small mold didn't get any chances. None whatsoever.
Do you know anything about Lily Myers?
Nothing that anyone else around here couldn't tell you.
Do you know who Jimmy Cochran is?
No.
What can you tell me about the Church of the Holy Trinity?
Do I look like a pious man to you? I've peed on churches.
All right, I'm gonna hit the road.
Right on. I have some business to take care of, but make yourself at home.
Thanks, Bo. See you around.
Hey, Brian's girl.
Yeah?
I overheard you. I'm Emmett.
Hey.
The boss man isn't usually that grumpy. He's got a lot on his mind. But I think I may know of a way to loosen him up.
I'm all ears, buddy.
Well, Bo and Brian are the double Bs, as we used to call them. They used to have this drink together. Brian came up with it. He called it a Bloodier Mary.
Sounds like my kind of drink.
Yeah, it's basically a Bloody Mary, but with pig blood instead of tomato juice.
I take that back. Gross.
I'm kidding. It's just a Bloody Mary, but with a special ingredient added to it.
If you say that special ingredient is blood, I will literally punch you.
No. Brian refused to tell anyone what it was. He only made it for special occasions. It's probably something uncommon, like a rare herb or some kind of expensive spice.
So let me guess. If I can produce this drink for Bo, you think he would help me out?
It'll make him remember Brian, which should go a long way. He hasn't had that drink since your old man disappeared. Brian was like a son to him. The boss would have died for him back in the day. If you could recall the good times with your father, he might change his mind.
I guess it could be worth a try. But wait, why are you helping me?
You're Brian's kid. That means you're family. We take care of family.
Well, how was that drink compared with a regular Bloody Mary?
Tasted a bit more like pepper and had a punch to it. It usually gave some pretty nasty hangovers. Oh, if you had a lot of them, you'd hallucinate some crazy shit. Pretty wild.
Trippy. Thanks.
You're welcome, darling.